A lot of fraud. Yes, he got nailed. New York State nailed him on that one. Just do Trump University fraud. Do a Google search on that, and you'll do a Google search on Donald Trump Mafia as well. There's a lot of stuff there. But for him, he's addicted to the limelight, even though we don't have limelight. And that's what this is all about. He doesn't, because, once he's president, he's got to be circumspect in his speech.
Yeah.
I don't remember him, early on being this bullshitty. When he first came to the attention of people, he was a real businessman.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the 80s, I remember.
In the 90s, and then something snapped inside of it. Something went crack. Mm-hmm. Something got short-circuited.
Yeah.
And he became, I'm not going to say a narcissist because, again, people who are narcissists should just starve themselves to death because they can't have the object of their affection. That is the story of narcissists.
That's a good summary.
Well, for those of you that do not know the story, the story of Narcissus, he was an extremely beautiful youth, and he was asexual. He didn't care about sex. So men who were sexually attracted to him, he would rebuff. Women, he would rebuff. The most famous is the story of Echo and Narcissus. And in the original Greek myth, another young man is rebuffed by Narcissus. Technically says, "Go kill yourself," and sends him a sword, to which the young man does commit suicide, kills himself, and as he is dying, he appeals to Nemesis, the goddess of social retribution, sister to Psyche, to avenge this, and she does so. She recalibrates the social order by causing Narcissus to fall in love, become attracted to his own reflection in a pool.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember about that. He saw his own reflection in a pool and fell in love with himself.
And when he realized he could not have the object of affection, he just died. He wasted away and died. Because it was unattainable.
Yeah.
The corollary to that story is the Pygmalion and Galatea story about Pygmalion, another male who was just not interested in sex, asexual, who Aphrodite caused to fall in love with the statue he was creating.
Well, I know plenty of guys that have sex dolls now. It's probably not much different.
Well, no, but that is a social. But they're sexually active. They just don't have the interpersonal skills.
Ah, okay.
To relate to women. We're talking about two males that just frankly weren't interested.
Yeah.
They were celibates.
Yeah.
They made that just. So if we know he likes to have. Trump is also kind of creepy, where he was creeping on his daughter's attractiveness. It's like, ew.
Really? When did this happen?
Oh, wow, let me look this up.
I haven't heard about this.
He made a comment about how beautiful his attractiveness is. It's just like, let me see if I can find it. It was just like ew, creepy.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about, speaking of creepy old man thing, Joe Biden has a few incidents where he gets real close to the women at these ceremonies and breathes on their neck and.
Oh, but I don't think that's I don't think it's creepy. I think it's a little invasive, space invasive, but not creepy, because he doesn't take it any farther than that. Personally, I think he does it because he knows it's going to creep him out.
Yeah.
I think Joe Biden's got a exceedingly wicked sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't think he has a chance in this election, do you? I don't think he has a
I think he's too emotionally broken by the death of his son.
Yeah.
Because he knows,
but even
all
before
sorts
that,
of shit is going to be, but all sorts of shit's going to be thrown at him regarding his son.
Yeah.
Now there's a story that one of his other kid boys had an account at Ashley Madison.
Oh
Big fucking deal, you know. It's like it's
Yeah,
not,
but
you know.
they'll use it to beat them up.
You know.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It goes that way, you know, and you know they're very quiet about the more than likely the Republicans with Ashley Madison accounts or the rent boy, you know,
Yeah.
accounts.
I think I heard Canada was suing Ashley Madison. Didn't I hear that recently?
Yes, they are. And the CEO stepped down, but he also hacked into somebody else's system like a while ago. So it's like
so the whole company's being taken down.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up to our 2-hour limit here, Miss Kelly. We lost Ramzy. I think he probably took a Viagra and went to the basketball court. But you're always welcome to come on the show, and I love my fellow English/theater majors.
Trump said he would date his daughter.
He said he would date his daughter. What was the context around that?
Right here.
I gotta hear this.
They were on The View,
mm-hmm.
and he said it would be really disappointing. Not really, but it would depend on what's inside the magazine. I don't think Ivanka would do that, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh my gosh.
And we are all over Woody Allen for marrying Mia Farrow's adopted daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, whew. I don't know. I'm just leaving it alone because if somebody likes Donald Trump.
This gets better. We're talking comedy here. Mm-hmm. In response, the article I'm reading from appears on addictinginfo.org.
Yeah.
In response, former View co-host Joy Behar exclaimed, "Who are you, Woody Allen?"
I'm sorry, but he deserved that.
And then he's backtracked by saying, quote, Trump's representative, NBC representative Jim Dowd to make a statement on the matter in an effort to humanize Trump and assure the public that he was absolutely joking. That is in quotes.
Yeah.
He was making fun of himself for his tendency to date younger women, the sense of humor that people don't see from him all the time.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah.
So there's some freaky shit going on in his head right now, you know. It's like, yeah. And I'm sure Ivanka might have been like fucking creeped out at that.
Yeah.
If you know.
I'm sure she was. I mean, but he's also said that if he goes and into the presidency, if he were to be elected by some miracle that we can't yet foresee, that he would give the companies would be run by his two children. To me,
oh yeah, like the blind trust Dick Cheney made billions off of.
Yeah. Well, nobody talks about that though, do they? You know, it's ridiculous. What I've found out is that the average American voter doesn't really care too much about the dirt or the background or the investment ugliness or the mafia connections. It's about who they like, who they can connect with. Well, who is it in America that can connect with Donald Trump, except when he comes out with the racist and sexist kind of behavior?
That's what I'm saying. He is too outrageous to be elected. And trust me, if by some godly curse he were elected, the world would be horrified.
Yeah.
You would see every nation in the world ally with each other just to protect each other, because he said that he would go back and take all the oil.
Yeah.
Just go fight your wars. Your bully boys ain't gonna go. They're too they're yellow elephants running down East Besneth, and. Frankly, I would not be at all surprised, and this is sad for me to say, but my feeling is if something like that were to happen, I would fully support the military mutinying and refusing to serve. Go.
Yeah, I think so too. In fact, I've advised people because of the way the veterans are treated today. What if the military?
Well, one of them wants.
What's that?
One of the alleged candidates said that Ben Carson said the VA should be done away with.
I think it should too. Turn it into Medicaid Part V and be done with it.
No, he doesn't want anything to do. Ben Carson. I just think he just says let them fucking languish.
Oh, is that his belief? Well, you can never win then. I mean, the veterans aren't a huge group, but their supporters are it's a pretty huge group. So you lose your voting power there if you.
He wants to do away with the department. Well, he wants to do away with the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Baltimore Sun.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a backup plan for dealing with veterans problems, or I don't know. I'm always a little sensitive.
Veterans Affairs should be folded into the Department of Defense and should be a smooth transition. We need to be looking for ways to take care of soldiers. Like that's gonna, like what your defense, my feeling is that everything, infrastructure should be folded into Department of Defense, because the highway system was built for the military to be able to get from point A to point B across the country.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I can't see turning one bureaucracy into another making any difference for veterans. But the DOD has never been in the business of caring for humans, and I can't see them starting to do that now. But who knows? Maybe it could work. I mean, he was a neurosurgeon, right? We gotta give him a listen. But from some of the stuff I've heard him say, I think we have you ever seen the bad lip reads videos? Yes,
I love those.
They had one. I
love them.
I do too, and they make fun of everybody, so it's actors.
Oh, yeah, they're great. I mean, that's what make. We were talking about comedy. That is great comedy.
Absolutely.
That's great comedy, because it's like, and Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I remember seeing one on Game of Thrones, or they did one of the first ones I think they did that was huge was Game of Thrones, and I was never a huge Game of Thrones fan. I just haven't. I don't follow TV shows, and it was just brilliant. I mean, I tried to do it myself because I like to do that kind of impromptu stuff, and I tried to write a script that would fit by turning the volume down, and I couldn't do it. To make it match their lips, I couldn't do it. So those guys are really creative. I don't know how many people they have working with them, but to make it sound like that's actually what they're saying is just brilliant. But Kelly, we're getting ready to get out of here. You were welcome to come on my show anytime.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
and all you guys in the chat room, hello.
Yes.
Feel free to when I'm around to just or even when I'm not around, just do your best to disrupt this man's train of thought. It works. It needs to be shaken up.
So do you have a Facebook, like a fan page or anything for
my actor page? Well, my podcast page is Facebook. I think it's called Masterless Men. Let me fire up my Facebook here.
I got
my tablet. No, my tablet. We can go. I just refuse to use the Pages Manager. They're over here. Where are you?
I'm bringing it up now.
Here.
No, it didn't come up. At least the way I typed it.
Fucking haze.
Let me see if Facebook search will bring it up. It's not showing me anything. I don't know. Maybe it's 2 words. Men without masters.
Masterless Men.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, yeah. Masterless Men, got it. Okay, so now this is a public group with 2,200 members. Am I looking at the right one?
No, it's At the Table. It's the name of my podcast page.
Okay.
And it should be
At the Table is what site is your podcast broadcast from?
It is on netrootsradio.com, and when I'm I forgot to do a show this week. And usually it's pre-recorded until I stop working on weekends. Or I do a live stream on Spreaker whenever I decide I'm doing a show, and then that gets uploaded as a podcast to netrootsradio.com, and it is heard Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Netrootsradio.com, we get streamed on TuneIn, Podcasts, or Stitcher, iHeartRadio. This is for all of the Netroots Radio live shows. iTunes. And then I co-host a late-night Saturday show called the Roundhouse Power Hour Table of whatever we want to talk to. And again, that's midnight Eastern, 9 p.m.
Okay.
Pacific.